of disaster is coming to this country if we don't turn this around.
It all started when David E. Taylor was a teenager in college.
When the Lord first began to speak to me about America was when I was in college.
God showed him a dream in two parts that started to come to pass. One, that the trade centers would be bombed. He saw this 10 years before 9/11. David E. Taylor was even in New York City the day before and the morning of 9/11 and tried desperately to warn America and the government to avert this disaster. But Christians did not listen. Nobody was listening.
About 15 minutes ago, bodies started dropping from the top floors. It was absolutely terrible. Obviously, they had two choices: to be burned in flames or to leap and end it all.
Two, Russia paid off terrorists to bomb the trade centers, and that Russia is planning submarine nuclear warfare to nuke America. Sid Roth heard his testimony and had him on his show, It's Supernatural.
He's 100% accurate on prophetic dreams. On a date that no American will ever forget, 9/11, September 11th, you were in New York City. What did God show you before the event?
Well, actually, when I was in college, Sid, I had another dream, a visitation from the Lord. And he said, I've come to show you what's going to happen in America, and you are to prophesy this and tell this to the officials. But before the war hit America, I saw the planning, and they planned to go undersea to attack America. But before this, the Lord showed me also that President Bush's son would be president when the beginning of this war happened. And the Lord said to me that the war will not start full-fledged. Russia will not just attack with missiles America and send missiles over here. The attack will start with terrorists bombing the financial centers of America. And the Lord said that will be the beginning of the war. And what Americans don't understand, they think it's about Bin Laden and terrorists. No, they're getting distracted. The real monster behind this attack is Russia. So I would go all the way to New York, 2 hours, and drive around the Trade Center in New York and begin to tell the people that were with me and some of the people in New York that the terrorists are going to bomb this place. I went back up there and drove around the Trade Center. This was on 9/11, all the way to the morning of 9/11, all the way up early in the morning. And the Lord said, now, it's time to get out of here. Leave. And when I left, when I got back 2 hours later, it was on the news to my hotel that the Trade Centers had just been bombed.
In 2005, Jesus appeared to David E. Taylor in a dream and stood with him looking over America near the coast of Florida. Jesus showed him Russian submarines coming up to the coast undetected by America and launch a nuclear missile with the letters USSR written on it. And it struck Florida, killing millions. He saw war come to America's soil, and America did not win this war. The nation was defeated and went into captivity by another nation. There is a nuclear war coming. This warning has been shown by dreams to thousands all over America and the world. Many have been sharing their testimonies on social media about what they've been seeing.
I started having these dreams about Russia invading America.
Some of the dreams that I've had about war, submarines, they destroyed the U.S.
A dream that I received about a nuclear attack coming to America.
In this dream, I heard the newscast. It is apparent that we are being invaded and warships, submarines, and this is what I saw, guys. This is the color of Russia's flag.
This has been continually prophesied by David E. Taylor for 14 years. Lo and behold, on national news in 2018, it came out that Russia broke their seal of their nuclear submarines.
Putin is touting Russia's new invincible nuclear-powered missile that is capable of hitting anywhere in the world, according to him. Putin showed a video as proof, simulating Russian missiles apparently raining down on Florida.
That video Putin showed during his speech made it clear that one of those enemies is the United States.
Russia's main simulation for the nuclear power was targeted and released on Florida. Just like Jesus showed David E. Taylor, there is a nuclear war coming because America has forsaken God, and his protection over this land has been removed. But God has given David E. Taylor the solution, found in 2 Chronicles, to return back to God by seeking and finding his face. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land. There are 5 steps that God has given us in this scripture to see the preservation and healing of America. Number 1, if my people. We must identify the people, which are God's people, his church, his elect. Number 2, humility. We must humble ourselves. Number 3, prayer. Number 4, seek God's face, until we then find God's face. Number 5, turn from our wicked ways. The church has done the first 3. We have seen God's people humble themselves and gather in prayer movements such as IHOP, The Call with Lou Engle, and many others. But what many don't realize is the 4th step, seeking God's face. Prayer is the initiation, but it is not the final step. The next step is seeking God's face and finding it. Prayer and seeking God's face are 2 different things. Jesus doesn't tell us to seek something that we cannot find. He says, "Seek, and ye shall find." Matthew 7:7. America needs God's face to preserve this country. Many don't understand what the face of God does once his face is found. In the Bible, Jacob and Job's visitations from the Lord brought preservation. Jacob said, "I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." Genesis 32:30. Face to face is a visitation from the Lord. Job said, "Thou hast granted me life and favor, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit." Job 10:12. In both cases, preservation was the key. And this is why God says, "Seek my face."